Vitamin A was the first vitamin discovered. In 1907, the fat-soluble vitamin A was found necessary for growth. In 1930, it was learned that there were two related forms, beta-carotene and a fat-soluble vitamin A. Vitamin A was first synthesized in 1947. Most of the vitamin A in the body is stored in the liver in the form of retinol palmitate. Vitamin A is a family of compounds with similar structures called retinoids. In plant-based foods, vitamin A is found in the form of provitamin A, principally beta-carotene. Foods derived from animals or animal products contain a different form of vitamin A, called retinol esters. Vitamin is found in the different forms which are carotenes such as beta-carotene are from plant foods and are antioxidants. Retinol esters come from animal foods. Retinol supports healthy skin. Retinol is needed for vision. Retinoic acid supports skin and epithelial tissue. Retinol palmitate is the storage form inside the human liver. Vitamin A deficiency or VAD is not easily to define. World Health Organization describes it as tissue concentrations of vitamin A low enough to have adverse health. VAD can cause the risk of irreversible blindness, increased morbidity and mortality, poor reproductive health, increased risk of anemia, and contributions to slowed growth and development. However, these nonspecific adverse effects may be caused by other nutrient deficits as well. Vitamin A is needed by the retina of the eye for vision. The retina is located at the back of the eye. Light passes through the lens of the eye and hit the retina. The retina converts the light into nerve impulses for interpretation by the brain. Rod cells in the retina are responsible for vision in dim light. Rod cells with other compounds are able to detect tiny amounts of light, which is important for night vision. In some cases, these compounds are lost or used during other functions of the eye. These losses must be replaced with vitamin A either from the diet or from vitamin A stored in the liver. Vitamin A is required by the immune system in several different ways. Vitamin A is called the anti-infective vitamin because the human immune system cannot function without it. With millions of children deficient in vitamin A, deaths from common childhood infections such as pneumonia and measles can be greatly reduced with better food or vitamin A supplementation. Severe vitamin A deficiency is one of the leading causes of blindness in children. This type of blindness is not related to night vision. Over 500,000 children lose their sight each year from severe vitamin A deficiency. This preventable childhood blindness results from a lack of vitamin A in the cornea of the eye. The cornea is the transparent outer layer of the eye. This type of childhood blindness is known as xerophthalmia. In the first stage of xerophthalmia, the cornea becomes hard and dry, a condition known as xerosis. Xerosis can progress to a softening of the cornea that can lead to irreversible blindness. When vitamin A is deficient, the skin becomes drier, and can become rough and scaly. This hardening and drying is related to an increase of keratin, a hard and inflexible protein found in fingernails. This hardened skin is less effective as a barrier to infection. When the body has required amount of vitamin A available, it increases the secretion of mucus and strengthens the mucous membrane of the body to fight infections. Vitamin A plays key role in keeping the skin flexible and the development of lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are part of immune system that fight attacking bacteria, virus and toxins. Vitamin A is needed for the synthesis of important proteins used throughout the body. Vitamin A, in the form of retinoic acid, can act as a hormone to affect how genes make protein. Retinoic acid is essential for fetal development. It is needed for the formation of the heart, eyes, limbs, and ears of the growing fetus. Without sufficient retinoic acid, growth hormone may be limited in the developing fetus. Millions of red blood cells are made in the body every second. Red blood cells are derived from precursor cells called stem cells. These stem cells are dependent on vitamin A for normal differentiation into red blood cells. In addition, Vitamin A facilitates the mobilization of iron from storage areas to the developing red blood cell for integration into hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the oxygen carrier in red blood cells. One of the first lines of defense against infection is the mucous membranes. These mucous membranes line the digestive tract, the lungs and sinuses, the vagina, the eyes, and the urinary tract. Vitamin A is required to maintain the integrity of these vital barriers to infection. Without vitamin A, certain cells in the mucous membranes, goblet cells, become fewer in number. Goblet cells are needed to produce mucus, which is necessary for all of the mucous membranes. Mucus forms a chemical barrier to gastric acid in the stomach. Mucus also helps eliminate contaminants in the lungs. Mucus forms an important first barrier to invasive microorganisms. With fewer goblet cells, less mucus is produced. This is a problem in the intestines, because the decreased amount of mucus leads to decreased absorption of nutrients, which further leads to diminished vitamin A absorption. A vicious cycle. Vitamin A toxicity is relatively rare. Vitamin A toxicity is called hypervitaminosis A. Toxicity is not caused by provitamin A, carotenoids such as beta-carotene. Hypervitaminosis A is caused by overconsumption of the kind of preformed vitamin A found in animal products and many supplements. Toxicity can result from long-term low intakes, or from short-term high intakes of preformed vitamin A. Children are more vulnerable to hypervitaminosis A than adults. People who may be susceptible to toxicity at lower doses include the elderly, pregnant women, and alcoholics. It is possible to receive excessive vitamin A from the diet. Liver is dangerously high in vitamin A. No tolerable upper intake level for beta-carotene has been set. Because it is non-toxic, beta-carotene is stored in fat, just under the skin. In very rare instances, huge overdoses of concentrated beta-carotene can cause a slight yellowing of the skin. This is not harmful, and quickly goes away. It is interesting to note that the type of beta-carotene used in supplements may be harmful in large doses, especially for people who drink alcohol and smoke cigarettes. In older men and women, long-term intakes of preformed vitamin A can be associated with increased risk of osteoporotic fracture and decreased bone mineral density. Only high intakes of preformed vitamin A, not beta-carotene, are associated with any increased adverse effects on bone health. On the other hand, low levels of vitamin A can adversely affect bone mineral density. The best way to assure safe levels of vitamin A is to eat plenty of fruits and vegetables and, if supplements are needed, to use the beta-carotene form. Excess preformed vitamin A from animal products or supplements taken during pregnancy is known to cause birth defects. Intake levels by pregnant women below 10,000 IU and provitamin A carotenes are not known to cause birth defects. For this reason, pregnant women are advised to keep their preformed vitamin A levels below 5,000 IU daily, to avoid any possibility of increasing birth defects. A diet rich in vegetables and fruit is an alternative to preformed vitamin A sources. One medium-sized carrot provides a safe alternative vitamin A source and contains about 16,000 IU. Vitamin A has other roles in resistance to infection. Vitamin A plays a central role in the development of lymphocytes, white blood cells, that play critical roles in the immune response. Also, activation of the major regulatory cells of the immune system, T lymphocytes, requires the retinoic acid form of vitamin A. Please like, share, comment the videos and subscribe the channel for future health beneficial videos. Thank you for watching.